1940s haircuts.
Cut round the bowl.
Wartime food. And outside toilets.
Oh my God, it's dirty in there, and how do we flush?
All take a bit of getting used to.
It's pretty strict, but I think I'll be alright.
I'm Matt Baker. Over 60 years ago, when the Second World War broke out, if you lived in a city like this one, you could have been bombed. So 1.5 million children were sent to live with complete strangers in the countryside, and it was called the evacuation. Today we're taking 6 boys and 6 girls from cities all around the UK, back in time to 1939, where they'll experience what life would have been like as a wartime evacuee. Our 12 are typical 21st century children. They're streetwise.
I'm probably a South London kid geezer.
Love junk food.
I absolutely adore fast food. It tastes so good. If I could, I'd have it every day.
And are mad about the latest gadgets and gizmos.
I'm more of a computer man, not a shovel man.
This is where these city slickers are headed, an old-fashioned country farm where we've turned back the clock to the Second World War. They'll be sleeping in dormitories, eating hearty country food, and even going to the toilet outside. Oh dear.
Done some research on evacuation on the internet, and I think I'll be fine, really.
For 2 weeks, our modern boys and girls will try to live without TV, technology and takeaways. Can they do it?
Because the way my mum talks about my phone, like, oh, you could never live without, I think I want to prove to them that I can live without it.
Our present-day evacuees' journey back to wartime Britain starts at a 1930s-style train station. Like the real evacuees, they'll be travelling miles away from home, accompanied by a teacher.
Good morning. My name is Miss Young. I wonder whether you could stand over in the corner there with the others.
And it's their first taste of good, old-fashioned discipline.
Stand straight. Hands out your pockets. Put your arms down by your sides, please. If you're finding something funny, I'll make sure there's nothing to laugh about later.
The evacuation of city children began on the 1st of September 1939, 2 days before Britain declared war on Nazi Germany. Codenamed Operation Pied Piper, it was the biggest movement of British people ever. Children were instructed to register at local train stations, where they had to leave their mums and dads behind before being taken to live with strangers in the countryside.
This is what they would have been given: an identity card and a label to go around their neck with their name on it and which school they're from. Our modern evacuees will also be given one of these. It's a gas mask which had to be taken everywhere in case of a gas attack. You never knew if or when it was going to happen.
I'd like you to form into a nice straight line. Girls first.
Time for our 12 evacuees to register.
Yes, there you are. That's your identity card and your label to show us who you are. And you need your gas mask, and you need those at all times.
And if they lose their gas masks, they'll have the fearsome Miss Young to answer to.
Mrs Gray, Mrs
Yes.
Brown, thank you very much.
OK.
Thank you.
Life in 1939 is very different to 2006.
Everything's really like strict and organised, and it's quite scary.
Put your luggage down.
Got told off for saying yeah instead of yes, miss.
She was pretty strict and a bit scary.
And it's not just Miss Young that's freaking them out.
I'm not wearing this. It's gross. And it'll mess up my hair.
Humid. White breath for my face.
feeling excited, but I'm also a bit nervous. I don't know what to expect. I'm going without TV and a mobile phone and a computer. I'm a bit worried about that.
Most of the real evacuees had never left the cities they lived in, let alone been to the countryside. Except for the odd family holiday, our boys and girls are no different.
Once this train leaves the station, our evacuees will enter wartime Britain. So this is their final contact with the modern world and their families.
If you would like to say goodbye to your parents now, please.
Time to say goodbye to their mums and dads. For the next 2 weeks, our evacuees are on their own. When the war broke out, some children didn't see their parents again until it ended, 6 years later.
Can we have the girls first, please, gentlemen? Gentlemen, stay in line.
It's beginning to sink in for our time-travelling boys and girls what they've let themselves in for.
I just need to get past the first few days and then I think I'll be all right. We'll be back.
The mums and dads are finding it tough too.
And I tried not to cry, but I just couldn't help it.
I don't know how Laura's feeling, but I feel nervous for her.
It's awful. Yeah. I can't imagine how people did this with little kids.
5 minutes into the journey and one of the girls has already broken rule number 1.
If there's going to be a war, your gas mask is with you at all times. It does not come out of the box unless I say it may. It is not a toy.
So our evacuees are getting their first taste of life 1940s style, and they're about to get another one now because this is what they would have been given as a packed lunch. Let's have a look. We've got an apple here, an absolutely massive ham sandwich, and also to wash it down with a tin of condensed milk. It's very sweet, but I don't think I could manage a whole tin.
You won't come out. That's got milk. Oh. It's disgusting. I feel sorry for people back in the olden days when they had to eat.
It just seems old, you know, the way it's like. I don't like stuff that looks old.
The condensed milk and ham sandwiches haven't gone down too well with our evacuees. In fact, for Richard Hall, they haven't gone down at all.
When the train's moving, do you feel better?
No, miss.
No, it won't be very much longer, this journey. It's just your nerves.
It looks like wartime food is going to take a bit of getting used to.
Richard is an extremely fussy eater.
Well, I don't like Chinese food because I don't like spicy things or Indian. I don't like spaghetti bolognese because it looks like worms and eyeballs, which I don't like eating.
What's there is there. You will have to eat it because there won't be any choices like there are here.
You'll be all right.
Right.
Condensed milk can now be added to the long list of food Richard doesn't like. For the next 2 weeks, I'll be going along for the ride too. And while we've stopped at a station, I think it's a good time to introduce myself to the new evacuees.
So how's it all been? Because it's strange.
I wish I had a camera.
You what?
I've been sick.
You've been sick? Goodness.
It's everywhere.
Oh my goodness. Where were you sick? Are you
there?
Oh, and how are you feeling now? Are you all right?
All right, yeah.
Now then, girls, how are we? How are you doing? What's your name?
Natalie.
Natalie, hello, I'm Matt. Nice to meet you. Are you all right? Hello. What's your name?
I'm Chelsea.
You're Chelsea, and how are you feeling today, Chelsea?
Nervous but excited.
Nervous but excited. Okay, and how was it saying goodbye to all of your family?
It was hard, we got it.
This is going to be an incredible journey, this, isn't it? It's going to be an amazing experience. Have you thought anything about it? Have you got any kind of ideas of what it's going to feel like, what's going to be like?
I think I've got an idea, it's just I think when I get there it's going to be completely different.
OK, we're going to get off here now.
The children have arrived at Weybourne Station in Norfolk and are about to be collected by farmhand Mr Patrick and taken to their new home.
And this is them, is it?
It is indeed.
Right now, then, girls and boys, you've got to pick your bags up. Now, you follow me, and this young will come behind.
Back in 1939, cars were a luxury, so the most common form of transport was using your own 2 feet, as our evacuees are discovering on their walk to the farm.
Come on, keep up, you've got a long way to go yet.
Can you straighten your back? Smarten up, we're getting very close.
Their new home is an exact copy of a 1940s farm, and we've brought in a real-life no-nonsense farmer called Mr Rivett and a farmer's wife, Mrs Rivett, who will cook and look after the evacuees.
They are going to live by my rules. This is my home, and they are going to do what they are told.
When the evacuees arrived at their new homes, they weren't always given the warmest of welcomes by the strangers taking them in.
This is a farm, as you can see. Now, Patrick and I do the farming. You boys will be able to help us, I hope. And you young ladies, you'll have to help Mrs Rivett, all right? Now, we'll all get along fine, so long as you don't start acting up and being difficult and being little monkeys. But if there is trouble, I can tell you, you'll be mucking my old horse out for a week. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Right.
OK, you'd like to come with me?
The evacuees are about to see where they'll be living for the next 2 weeks. The girls will be sharing one dorm and the boys another. But that's not the only surprise.
No one comes into the house without wiping their feet. If you'd like to follow me, girls, into the room. You're all to get changed, and in the wardrobes are clothes with your names on, and I want all the city things that you've brought with you brought downstairs in about 5 minutes. If you'd like to do that and get changed, thank you.
These fashion-crazy evacuees are unlikely to be impressed with their new outfits.
I love it. They've got straw in them. What colour's that supposed to be? Oh, please don't say that's maroon. If I'm wearing this, then you're so wearing that. Oh, fill that toilet paper. It is rotten.
Is it sandpaper?
They're mine. Disgusting. Oh, I've got a scarf and it's knitted.
Fussy Eater Richard might be happy, but the most fashion-conscious of all, Harry Cracknell, isn't so keen.
Hey, look what you got to wear. Look what I've got to wear. You got to wear that. Oh, I've got a woman's coat.
I'm Harry Cracknell and I'm from South London.
Got his earrings in, his clothes, gels his hair back, shucks his shoulders a bit. He thinks he's one of the lads.
I talk like a geezer, walk like a geezer, have clothes like a geezer. I think I have a bit of a ladies' man, yeah.
Harry is one little poser. Harry can't walk past the mirror without looking at himself. He does it every time he walks past it.
I reckon when I'm older, I'll probably be like #1 poser.
But possibly not in 1940s gear.
OK, how do I do this?
Where's your socks, eh? You need your socks.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Felix is obviously enjoying his new look, but the girls are horrified.
I'm wearing the ugliest outfit. I know people used to wear these, but I feel sorry for them.
We got these clothes, and cardigan, my day dress, and we got Sunday best, and we got school clothes.
These are my shoes. They're sandals, correct, and they're the most uncomfortable thing I've ever worn.
The clothes are dreadful, and the shoes just kill you after 5 minutes.
Little pants, I'm not keen on. I'm normally keen on boxers, so that's going to probably be a new thing to me to get the hang of.
With 12 children in the house, Mrs Rivett needs to crack the whip.
Right, why aren't you ready? Rule 1, you wipe your feet when you come into the house. Rule 2, you're punctual. When we say 5 minutes here, we mean 5 minutes.
It's bye-bye to the 21st century and all its mod cons.
We need all your belongings put in these bags, so all your clothes that you came with can be sent off for the war effort. Open the bag and put all your stuff in the sack. Whatever's that? Well, did you ever see anything like it? Whatever is it?
What on earth is it?
I hadn't ever seen anything like that before. Will you please take that thing out of your ear and put it in here? I cannot do with boys with jewellery. I've never seen anything like it.
Anybody else got necklaces or bracelets?
I thought we'd
be able to keep some stuff.
The new look doesn't end with the clothes and shoes. Mrs Rivett has roped in farm help Miss Victoria to give their 2006 hairstyles the chop.
Never seen anything like it. Like a hedgehog.
That's Brill cream, and Richard Hall is definitely not happy about having his head smothered in it.
Right, I want you to try and keep your hair so you have a nice side parting in it, like I've done. OK, and combed at all times and looking smart and clean.
A classic style during the war was short at the back and a side parting on top.
OK, who's next? Is it a boy or a girl? Oh, that hair.
My name is Felix Chancellor Burton, and I haven't cut my hair in 6 years. I don't really remember why I started to grow it, but now I've got it this long, I don't really want to cut it.
And the longer it got, the less keen he was to have it cut.
My hair's so long that sometimes it gets caught on door handles. Sometimes my hair gets stuck in my food. Ooh. Yeah, it's quite disgusting, really.
Well, well, well. I have never, ever, ever seen anything like this in my entire life. Enough, just be quiet.
Oh dear, Felix, there it goes. And if he thought that was bad...
We've got no option but to put the bowl and actually cut round the bowl.
He actually put a ball on his head.
They're using a bowl to get a nice, neat cut.
Bowl cut.
It's going to take long to grow your hair.
6 years.
6 years.
Gone in 6 seconds.
Oh my God, no! Look at that. Yeah, that's just not right.
The cows are laughing at me.
He can kiss goodbye to that old hairstyle.
OK, done.
My goodness me, isn't that an improvement, though?
As you can see, I got my haircut. It used to be very long, and now it's all short. They put a bowl, and it took like ages. And they put a bowl around my head and cut around the bowl, so I got a bowl head.
My haircut. Well, personally, I think it's a bit nerdy and naff. But all the old-fashioned people, like Mr. and Mrs. Rickett, say it looks good. But personally, I can't see that.
Mrs. Rivett is giving the evacuees a tour of their new home.
This is the dining room where we will eat breakfast, lunch and dinner.
It's a typical wartime farmhouse, with fires instead of central heating. Blankets rather than duvets. No TV, and a basic kitchen, minus fridge, microwave and washing machine. All the creature comforts our modern evacuees take for granted just didn't exist back then.
But I think that this room is going to be the biggest shock. It's an outside toilet, and it's a replica of what they would have been like during the war. Here we go. You've got the bucket or the toilet, which sits underneath a wooden bench, and when you've finished doing your business and wiped your bum with the tracing paper toilet roll, you wash it away with the jug of water.
But how will it go down with the city boys?
Oh my God!
Have what? There you go.
It's dirty in there, and as we flush...
You flush it, my man, with a jug of water, which is outside the door. That down there, look.
What if you do something else?
You mean something else?
Poo.
A poo?
Yeah.
If you do number twos, you might need 2 jugs.
In 1939, when the children arrived at their new homes, many found it difficult to settle in. Our evacuees are no different. After just 2 hours on the farm, they're missing their family and friends back in the cities.
Yes.
I'm just a bit upset because I'm away from home and stuff.
I know.
I just feel a bit awful.
Where are all the other boys?
They're in the
playroom, I think.
Right.
Where our games are.
All right, come on. I want all you boys to sit together and give Richard some support, all right? Is there no games in there that you can play?
I feel pretty, you know, awful inside, but I'm enjoying myself because I have got some new friends and it's pretty strict, but I think I'll be all right.
Natalie Travers is also finding her new life hard to get used to.
Really, all I keep thinking is that if I was a real one, then I wouldn't know when I was going home, and I wouldn't know if I had a family to go back to. But now I know that I've got a family to go back to, and I know when I'm going home, and all I've got to keep remembering is that they didn't.
Natalie hopes Mrs Rivett will be a soft touch, but she's come to the wrong person.
Here's my family.
But I know it's very tough, but we're under the threat of war and all these children are in the same situation as you. Would it help if you did some jobs and worked with me, rather than be with the children?
Don't mind me.
Do you help your mum at home?
A bit.
Do you? What sort of things do you do at home?
I do wash up my plate and put all the food in the bin.
Help your mum? Pull the other one, Natalie.
I am lazy.
Natalie doesn't do anything around the house and I end up doing practically everything for her.
I just can't be bothered and I just don't want to because I'd rather be on my phone and on my computer and watching TV, so I'm not really interested in doing anything else because it's not what I want to do. Sometimes when I want something and I can't be bothered to go downstairs, I'll ring or text my mum instead of just going down the stairs. Hi Mum, can you come and fill up my fridge because there's nothing in it and I'm hungry? It's really good having my mum because she does do a lot for me and she does it without like moaning, and it is like having room service.
I think it'd be a really good experience for her to actually realise that, you know, we're not all born as princesses and she has got to lift a finger.
Gotta go, history calls.
At least good old-fashioned hard work should definitely take her mind off home. It's work, work, work for Natalie now. Back in the 1940s, girls were expected to do all the domestic chores.
Should I take this tree now?
Yes.
The next task is to set the table for a sit-down dinner.
You're doing a great job, apart from you need to put a tablecloth on.
Eating in the dining room will be an alien experience for these city girls.
I eat in my living room on the couch watching TV. Yeah. And I eat it at 4 o'clock.
I eat it whenever I want. I eat at 5, and then at 7, and then maybe at 10 as well. I eat whenever I'm hungry.
There's no 24-hour snacking at Castle Farm. Dinner is at 5 p.m. and fast food and takeaways are not on the menu. Mealtimes are going to be more formal than our evacuees are used to.
Right, we'll say grace. What we're about to receive, may the Lord make us truly thankful. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Right, sit you down.
Well, the evacuees are just tucking into their first meal here on the farm, and it really is very nice. Corned beef fritter, veg, and steamed deer pudding for sweet. It's good hearty country food, this. They must be enjoying it.
Or maybe not. Tia and Harry seem to be struggling.
If you don't like it, you'll have to leave it, but there'll be nothing till the morning.
More used to pizza, chips and kebabs, I think some of our evacuees might be going to bed hungry.
I need 3 more carrots eaten, otherwise there'll be no pudding for you.
There's 1.
She's got loads of carrots.
She's a girl, for goodness sake. Leave her alone.
Oh, Susan, I thought I was going to be sick. Yeah, I really do like my vegetables.
I've just seen your face, so you're like,
I'll bet free.
You'll go far in life.
Our evacuees might stay up late at home, but at Castle Farm, bedtime is 7:30, sharp. And the news just gets worse. Back in the 40s, in houses with an outside toilet, every bedroom came complete with a chamber pot. And Mrs Rivett has her own special reasons for insisting on their use.
The children are having chamberpots this evening because I will not tolerate them stepping 1 foot out of their bedrooms and running around my house.
Miss, could I quickly run down to the lavatory, please?
No.
Oh.
I don't care. You need to go to the toilet. You use the Po.
Bedpans? Oh dear. They better pray that they don't need the loo tonight. Do you know, I think that life as an evacuee is going to be far tougher than this lot first thought.
All nights, girls. Sleep tight. Don't let the beddy bugs bite. All right. Be good. Night nights.
Well, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and now evacuees are about to find out that when you live on a farm, you're up early, and there's no such thing as a lie-in.
I woke up loads of times in the night because the cover kept falling off and I needed a wee, but I was not going in that.
I was so desperate all night, but I was thinking I do not want to wee now.
Nobody's used it yet. I don't want to be the first one to use it.
I wish I could say the same for the boys. And they didn't just use it for number ones.
Something bad happened in the night.
You what?
Just follow me, just follow me, just follow me.
Something bad happened? Why? What?
Follow me.
I can tell you what happened there.
I guess we've done it.
I don't know. I don't need to go any closer. Absolutely stinks in here.
Like that. We had to sleep like that.
Oh, I'm gagging nearly. Anyway, it is. Open the window, man. What time did that happen, Richard?
Last night, did it?
What?
Midnight-ish.
Goodness, mate.
Got up in the middle of the night to go to the toilet. I really needed a number 2, aka poo, but it absolutely stank, and I got in trouble. For it. But I needed to go, and you gotta go.
Richard has now been given the nasty job of emptying the boys' shared chamber pot for the next 7 days. The evacuees are beginning to realise going back 66 years is like living on a different planet.
The farm is alright, but I wouldn't live here because I prefer my own home.
I'm feeling better now after I've had a night, and I'm getting used to a new environment and new things, new people to be around.
It's 2 whole weeks of this. I don't know if I can handle without my Moby and my computer.